Hi friends, this is Vince from TheProDrummer.com. In today's lesson, part of our drum set fundamentals course, we're going to talk about rudiments. I'm sure you've heard the word before. What are they? Why are they so cool? And why do you need to know them? Let's get into it. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment down below on some more content that you'd like to see. Let's go. I am so excited that we're finally covering this topic of rudiments. What are rudiments? You've probably heard that word before. It's one of my favorite words. I think it is, it's definitely one of my favorite words. I love rudiments. I just freaking love them. They're super sexy to me. They're great. I love them. All right, what are rudiments? Well, rudiments are basically the building blocks or the DNA of drumming. They are a collection of different rhythms played in different ways, different relationships between the notes that make up basically all the combinations that you can ever play or that have been played on the drums. They come from snare drumming, and I will in another lesson or another video talk about the history of rudiments. We're not going to get too much into that right now. We're just going to talk about what they are. It's really important to me to impress upon you to think of them as descriptors of the drumming language rather than a creation of the drumming language. And let me explain what I mean by that. They describe motions, they describe rhythms, they describe accents and rhythms, groups of notes that already occur in drumming. Okay, it's not, and I think this is where a lot of people kind of say, why do I have to learn this? Well, they're important to learn, but there's something that even if you don't study rudiments at all, which I don't recommend, I really recommend you do study rudiments. If you don't study them at all, you're going to be playing them without even knowing. Case in point, let's start with the first rudiment we're going to go over, which is the single stroke roll. It's not something that you need to learn, it's something that you already know how to do. We've done it in a bunch of other lessons. All right, so the single stroke roll is super simple. It's just a right hand hit, followed by a left hand hit, followed by a right hand hit, followed by a left hand hit, back and forth, alternating. Conversely, it's a left hand hit, followed by a right hand hit, left hand hit, followed by a right hand hit. If we start with our right hand, it's a right hand lead. If we start with our left hand, it's a left hand lead. You've already played it. And all of the fills we've played, or most of the fills we've played, I don't know what you've played, but I'm assuming in most of the fill you've played, going around the drums, those are all single stroke rolls. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Or left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. That's a single stroke roll. Here's the first fill you played, the first fill I taught you, as single strokes. 3, 4. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. That's a single stroke roll, as is this. It's important to note, even though it has the term roll in it, it does not tell you anything about speed. It's not telling you how fast you should play or how slow you should play. It's also not telling you anything about dynamics. Remember, dynamics are the volumes at which we play in music. It's not telling you anything about playing it loud or playing it soft. If somebody says to play a single stroke roll, all you know to do is play evenly divided hits between your right and left hands. Let me show you a few single stroke rolls. This is a single stroke roll. This is a single stroke roll. This is a single stroke roll. Okay? Right, left, or left, right, with even spacing in between is a single stroke roll. We could play it as quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 16th, 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1. All of those are single stroke rolls. We can add accents to it, like we did in the last lesson. Those are all single stroke rolls, okay? So that is your first rudiment. This goes to show you that it's something you already played. You may not have known exactly what it was called or even thought about it in those terms, but this is a great way to realize that rudiments describe what is possible in drumming, okay? Some of the things you've already played are rudiments, all right? Really, really important to note that. Think of it like this. It's kind of like learning a new language. Think of rudiments as the grammar of drumming, okay? Say you're a native English speaker and you're learning Spanish or German or Italian, whatever. You're gonna try and speak that language as soon as possible. Maybe you take a trip to Italy and you need to learn a few words here and there, or you learn how to speak it. So you might know how to speak it and say some things. How do I get to this building? Where's the restroom? All of this before you actually understand the ins and outs of the grammar of the language. Then when you get a basic grasp on it, you may sit down and really want to take it a step further and learn the grammar of that language. So you're saying things properly. You're not saying gibberish, so you have a good handle on it. Rudiments are the same thing. They are the grammar, they are the building blocks of drumming. It doesn't mean you can't drum without knowing rudiments. There's plenty of players out there that play and they really don't know what the hell they're doing. I wouldn't recommend it, but you can start drumming without knowing exactly what the rudiments are. But I guarantee you, from the very first time you sit down at a drum set and play something, even if you have no experience in music whatsoever, you will have played something that can be described in the rudimental world. That's one of the reasons I find them so exciting. They're just so cool. They're not some stupid esoteric thing that we need to study to make sure we learn everything and play it perfectly. It's something that we're already playing. These are just descriptors of what we're already playing, okay? Let's move on to another rudiment. I'd just like to take a quick minute to thank you for watching this videos and some of the other videos that I've put out. If you find this content useful, helpful, or informational, please subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend. That helps me more than you could know. Seeing as how this is basically a brand new channel, I'm just starting to put up educational content. The more you like, the more you subscribe, and the more you comment down below, the more that will help me. Thank you so much. And as always, if you need any one-on-one instruction, feel free to reach out. Let's get back to the video. The next that we're going to learn is the double stroke roll, okay? You just learned the single stroke roll. Single meaning one, right, left, one hit per hand, which would lead the astute observer to notice that a double stroke roll would be double, double, two hits per hand. Right, left, right, left. That's a right hand lead double stroke. Or left, right, left, right. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's a left hand lead double stroke. Again, it doesn't mean how fast we're playing it. It's not telling us that. A double stroke roll doesn't mean play it at this speed or it has to be fast because it's a roll. Just means 2 hits in one hand followed by 2 hits in the other hand. 2 evenly spaced hits in one hand followed by 2 evenly spaced hits in the other hand. Right, left, right, left. That's a double stroke roll. This is a double stroke roll. This is a double stroke roll. Okay, those were all double stroke rolls. So now we have the single stroke roll and the double stroke roll. 1 hit per hand, 2 hits per hand. Pretty simple. Okay, now let's learn one more rudiment that we're going to learn in this lesson, and that is going to be the paradiddle. Okay, I like to think of the paradiddle. I teach it next because it's a very natural one to learn after the single stroke roll and the double stroke roll. Paradiddle is a funny name. I'll explain why it's called the paradiddle in a second, but let's learn it. All it's going to be is part of a single stroke roll, a right hand hit and a left hand hit, followed by 1 double. Right. Then we're going to play the same thing opposite. So it's going to be right, left, right. Okay? Single, double. Now let's play it starting with the left hand. Left, right, left, left. So it's two singles and a double, two singles and a double, two singles and a double. That is the single paradiddle. That's the full name of the rudiment, single paradiddle. If somebody says paradiddle, usually they'll just mean a single paradiddle. I'll use those two words interchangeably, or that phrase and that word interchangeably. There's a few different types of paradiddles, but just making sure I'm recording. But there's a few different types of paradiddles, but for right now, single paradiddle, paradiddle, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. Okay? Let's do it again. We're going to go same speed. Right, left, right, right. Left, right, left, left. Right, left, right, right. Left, right, left, left. Two things I want you to know about this. Keep in mind, you'll notice that first hit that I'm playing in the group of notes, of 4 notes, is accented. In the PAS rudiments, that first note is accented. So when somebody says a paradiddle, generally it will have an accent in that first group of 4 notes. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, accent, 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 accent. That's one thing to know. Second thing to know, this is a paradiddle. Right, left, right, right. Or left, right, left, left. Okay? That's one paradiddle. That's 2 paradiddles. They're back to back, okay? I just want to be clear about that. I just want everybody to kind of understand that and know that. It will become more important, but it's just something good to know. So if you hear me say play a paradiddle, that's a paradiddle. That's 2 paradiddles, okay? Just keep that in the back of your head. Let's move on. One other thing to note, paradiddles, again, it's not telling you how fast to play them or how slow to play them. We can play them very slow. A little quicker. Quicker. Okay, doesn't matter how fast we're playing them as long as we're playing right, left, right, right, or left, right, left, left. That's a paradiddle. We can play them as quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and don't forget the accent like I did. 16. Hopefully that helps. Now let's take these 3 rudiments, single, double, and paradiddle, and put them to a click, to a metronome. Here we go. So I've got the click set up at around 50 beats per minute. Not around exactly 50 beats a minute. First, we're just going to play some single stroke rolls. It's important to practice them at multiple speeds, multiple dynamic levels, meaning quiet, loud, medium loud, all of that. For right now, we're just going to play it at a medium volume, at a slower tempo. And we're going to play them as, let's start as quarter notes. They're going to be really slow. Here we go. Single stroke, starting with the right. Do the same thing as eighth notes. Same thing as 16th notes. Okay? I started each of those with the right hand. Also practice them starting with the left hand. Okay? Let's do the same thing with double strokes. Let's start it off as quarters. Let's start it with the left hand this time. Left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. It's played as eighth notes. One and, two and, three and, four and. 16th notes. 3 and a, 4 and a. Okay? Again, if I start with the right hand, it's a right hand lead. If I start with the left hand, it's a left hand lead. Now let's go to paradiddles. We're going to do the same exact thing. We're going to play it as quarter notes. We're going to accent that first hit. And we're going to start with our right hand, and then we're going to alternate to the left hand. Then I'm going to talk about alternating in a second. Here we go. Again. Let's do the same thing as eighth notes. As 16th notes. Okay, one thing I'd like to say about alternating, some rudiments alternate, some rudiments do not alternate. Meaning, if a rudiment alternates, the first time you play it, it will start with one hand. The next time you play it, it will start with the alternate hand, or the other hand. Okay, so with a single paradiddle, the first time I play it, right, left, right, right, it starts with my right hand. The second time, left, right, left, left. It alternates to my left hand. That's another reason why it's important to know that this is a paradiddle. If this was a paradiddle, it wouldn't alternate because every time you start it, it would start on the same hand. But it does alternate. This is a paradiddle, okay? Right, then left, then right, then left. Double stroke roll. First hit is with the right, then right again, then left. Okay, so that one we generally don't think of as an alternating or non-alternating rudiment, but it does right, right, left, left, go from the right to left. And the single stroke roll technically does alternate between your right hand and left hand, although that's not a single stroke roll, that's just a hit. I guess that could be part of a single stroke roll. So we will be thinking more about alternating rudiments. The first real rudiment that we're learning that alternates is the single paradiddle, so keep that in mind. Starts with the right, then the left. Right, left. One final thing that I want to say about the paradiddle. Make sure it's even. We don't want this. That's a paradiddle sticking, but that's not a paradiddle. This is a paradiddle. They're even. Evenly spaced from one another. Doesn't matter how fast or slow we go, the notes are evenly spaced from one another. All right. Once you get that down, you can take the single stroke roll, the double stroke roll, and the paradiddle and play them with a metronome at different note rates back to back. Just like we did how they were quarter notes, then we did some eighth notes, then 16th notes. You can do that 1 bar of each, 2 bars of each, 3 bars of each. Let's do it 1 bar of each. Let's do single stroke roll as quarters, eighths, and then 16th notes. Quarters. Eighth. 16th. Quarter. eighth, 16th, back to quarter. You can do it with double stroke rolls, quarter, eighth, 16th. You can do it with paradiddles too, although when you do it with a paradiddle, play 2 bars of each. That way, whenever you go from one note rate to the next, you'll be starting with the same hand. You could do it 1 bar each, but it'll be a little bit complicated at first because then you'll be doing it with the right hand, then you'll go to the next note rate starting with the left hand, and then you'll stay on that note rate because it just makes it a little more confusing. Something that's fun to do, but for right now, let's just do 2 bars each. I'll explain it with 1 bar each at another point. 2 bars each, paradiddle. Quarter. Eighth. 16th. Back to quarter. Take those, start them off slowly. Make sure you're playing with a metronome and without a metronome. Make sure you're practicing them slowly. You can practice them faster too, but even. We don't want you to start playing a single stroke roll like this or a double stroke roll like this. Remember, we want both our hands to be even. We want them to be mirror images of one another. If one hand's like this, one hand's like this, you're not going to get an even sounding roll. They need to look even to sound even. One final thing. When we're playing the single stroke roll and the double stroke roll next to each other, somebody who is not looking at you, technically, theoretically, I guess theoretically is a better way to say it, shouldn't be able to tell whether you're playing a single stroke roll or a double stroke roll. At first, strive to make the single stroke roll sound just as even as a double stroke roll, sound just as even as a paradiddle, sound just as even as a single stroke roll. Okay? Theoretically, a single stroke roll and a double stroke roll and a paradiddle without accents should sound exactly the same. In practice, however, we know that that is exceedingly difficult to do, and people strive their whole lives to get a clean sounding double stroke roll or single stroke roll or paradiddle that all sound exactly the same. But in practice, they're not going to sound really exactly the same because we're hitting different parts of the drum. The sticks will be slightly different. Your hands are slightly different. There's a lot of factors that go into it, but try and make them sound as even as possible. When I say even, we want both hands to sound as similar as possible. All right, so there you have it. The single stroke, double stroke, paradiddle. Practice them quietly, loud, slowly, and you can play them fast too if you like. They'll feel a little different playing them in a fast tempo than a slow tempo, and I will put out a video specifically on how to play these at faster tempos because some of the techniques change, some of the physics change a little bit when we're playing a double stroke roll at this speed. It's really a single hit and a single hit and a single hit and a single hit rather than a hit and a bounce. Okay? When we play faster, we're going to utilize bouncing and rebound to get it to that speed. Same thing with the paradiddle. So there'll be a little bit different physics involved the faster we go. But for right now, don't worry too much about that. Try and make it sound consistent. Try and make it sound even. Don't speed up. Don't slow down. Keep an even space between each of the notes and have some freaking fun with it, okay? Again, rudiments describe patterns. They describe rhythms. They describe accented and non-accented notes of which you already play, okay? We're just putting a name to them. We're not coming up with anything new here. We're just putting a name to a lot of the things that you play. Some are going to be a lot more common than others. Some you have played, some you're yet to play. But don't worry, we're going to take it slow, and little by little, together, we're going to learn the 40 international PAS, Percussive Arts Society, designated rudiments. But you've got 3 to start with: single stroke, double stroke, and single paradiddle. Let's take some of these, move them to the kit really quick. So now that you know you've already been playing some rudiments on the drums, and I showed you earlier in the lesson that first fill, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and were just single stroke rolls around the drums. Let's try and do the same thing with the double stroke roll. We're going to play a groove, just a solid 8th note groove, and then we're going to play a fill, all 8th notes on the snare drum, and we're going to play them as double strokes, starting with our right hand, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. It should sound like so. 1 and 2 and here's the fill. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Did you catch that? Watch my hands. Right, right, left, left. Here we go. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Same thing around the drums. It's going to be a little trickier, but you can do it. 8th notes. Okay. Let's do the same thing, but we're going to play it as 16th notes. Now we're going to play 8th note groove, and it's going to be 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, just in the snare drum, and then I'll move it around the drums. One thing you'll notice, if you're playing a double stroke here, or a single stroke for that matter, it's going to feel dramatically different than if you're playing it on a floor tom. Or a cymbal. Different drums, different cymbals have different rebounds. There's different physical properties associated with them. So it's going to be a little harder on the floor tom because there's less rebound. That gives you 2 things to note. One, okay, I need to focus a little bit differently and pay attention to different things when I'm playing on a snare drum, which has a lot of rebound, versus a floor tom, which has little rebound. 2, it's kind of a cheat code. You can practice on the floor tom. If you can play a blazing, clear, double stroke roll where you can hear each individual note on the floor tom, when you move it to the snare drum, it's going to be a piece of cake. All right, 16th notes. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Again, remember, starting with the right, double stroke, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. 2 hits per hand. That's what makes it a double stroke roll. Even rhythm. Same thing around the drums now. Different order, still double stroke roll. Okay, so you can go back and play all the fills we played earlier and all the fills that you learned on your own, and you can play them as double strokes instead of single strokes. This is important to notice. This is kind of an exercise. We're not always going to play fills as double strokes or single strokes. So this brings us to the question of why. Why do we care? Why does it matter if we're playing single strokes or double strokes? There's a few different reasons, but the 2 main ones are like this. Sometimes, say we're playing a fill and I want to end on this floor tom over here, but I want to crash on this cymbal over here. If I'm playing a single stroke roll, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. If I'm playing slow, that's okay. I have time to go from this left hit over here to this right hit over here, but that is a hell of a stretch. I can do it, but I don't have to. I can play right, left, right, left, right, left, right, right. Now I can play these two instruments simultaneously, which means I can play them right after another very easily. That gives me more time to get over here. So there'll be times when you're trying to get around the kit where you'll have to add in a double to help, or you'll have to add in different combinations that we'll talk about later. It's also a different sound. A single stroke and a double stroke can produce slightly different sounds. Singles, doubles. Okay, so there'll be times where we want to add doubles. Also, doubles will help with speed. If we're playing a lot of notes close together, if we want to really conserve some energy and play really efficiently, I can play double strokes all day like this while having great control over the dynamics, over the rhythm, without tiring out my hands. It's a lot more tiring to play. I can do it, but it gets a little more tiring. So the two main reasons we're going to do this, well, I guess three. Sound, efficiency, going from one part of the kit to another, using doubles or the end of a paradiddle. Sound, efficiency, or speed. And sometimes they're just freaking fun to play. So let's not forget about that. All right. So let's take that double stroke roll now. I'm going to speed it up a little bit, move it around the drums just so you could hear what it sounds like a little faster. Okay, so all of those were double stroke rolls. They were easy to execute, except for I think the second to last fill, which kind of sounded crappy, but I'm going to leave it in. And the reason I'm going to leave it in is because we're never going to be perfect with this. We're going to always strive for perfection. My mind was kind of drifting. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing, and I forgot to put in a double left, so it just ended right, right, rest, and then crash. Okay, that happens. That's part of learning. It's going to happen now. It's going to happen in 10 years from now and in 40 years from now. It happens. Hopefully it'll happen less and less, but pay attention. That just goes. Pay attention. You can kind of see what double strokes look and sound like. My arms are not moving as fast as I'm going when I'm playing single strokes, but you're hearing two notes for each hand, so it's kind of cool. Again, we'll talk in subsequent lessons how it feels to play double strokes at faster speeds because it's a little bit different technique. But for right now, just take it slow. Take it as fast as you want, but keep the sound levels consistent and the rhythm consistent. Let's go on to paradiddles. With paradiddles, we're going to start just getting comfortable playing them around the drums. So first, let's just play paradiddles. One bar of paradiddles on the snare drum, one bar on the high tom, one bar on the middle tom, one bar on the floor tom, and just do that a few times. I want you to play it with me. I'm going to keep time in my left foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, so you could hear it. Remember, paradiddle is right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Here we go. Right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. High tom. Middle tom. Floor. snare. High tom. Keeping those accents consistent, 2 sound levels. All right, let's play that a little quicker. I'm going to play 4 bars of a groove and then 4 bars of a fill just around here. It's going to sound a little robotic, a little like an exercise. That's okay. That's what it's supposed to sound like right now. Here we go. I'm going to play about 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, and I'll play 8th note groove. 3, 4. 1 and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 3 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a, here's the fill. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. One more time. Again, motion dictates sound. Notice how I'm moving my hands to make those accents consistent. Really exaggerating those accents. Next step, we're going to stay on the snare drum, but we're going to move the accents only. So we'll be playing. For right now, I'm going to move whenever I have a right hand accent to my floor tom. That's going to be beat 1 and 3. 1 and 3. I can't count on my fingers apparently. 2 and 4, left hand accent, high tom. Okay, that way we're not crossing over anything, although we're going to do that in a second. So 1 and 3, 2 and 4, E and an snare drum. 3 E and a 4 E and a. One E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a switch. 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 We've got that crossover. Okay, a couple things just happened there. One, we learned how to accent on 1, 2, 3, and 4 melodically. Boom, 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 boom. We learned how to do it efficiently without wasted motion, wasted movement. That once you get that comfortable, it's super easy to do that. And so we conserved a little bit of energy there. And because we had a formula to do so, we played it nice and cleanly, evenly. We knew where everything was supposed to land up. Now you're starting to realize how important it is to know, okay, if I play an accent here on this beat with this rudiment, it's going to land with this hand. And if I play it on this beat, it's going to land with that hand. It's important to know that in advance. Don't just guess. Take time like this. Okay, right, left, right, right. That accent is here. Right, left, right, right. Okay, left, left, right, left, left. Okay, right. That's going to be here. Right, left, left. That's going to be here. Okay, take that time to work it out. All right. Another nice little warm-up to do is just play it Doesn't matter how many toms you have, but play the accents a full bar on one tom, a full bar on another tom, a full bar on another tom, a full bar on your last tom. Okay? I'll even add in this snare drum here. I'll turn the snares off and use this like a tom. So there will be quite a bit of crossover with this. I'll play it nice and slow so you could hear. I'll go from high tom, middle tom, floor tom 1, floor tom 2, snare drum. Okay? You'll see this crossover. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. Cross. Bigger cross. Okay, that'll get you really comfortable moving around the kit. Let me play it one last time, a little quicker, so you can just hear what it sounds like. And I'm going to play, when I say it, I'm going to play the accents improvised around the drum, so it's not going to be the same order or anything. 1, 2. See how relaxed I am? Very effortless to play in this manner. Okay, so there you have it. Paradiddles around the kit as fills. One last thing I want you to notice. We're not going to just use these rudiments as fills. So even though that's the vehicle in which I'm explaining them to you, that first fill, single stroke, double stroke, paradiddle. Although we're using fills as the vehicle to learn them, I just got a notification. I don't know if you heard that. So although we're using fills as the vehicle to learn them, these don't just associate rudiments with fills. Just because we're playing a groove doesn't mean there's not a rudiment here. There were some rudiments in there. There were some single strokes, some individual single strokes. We're going to add in double strokes. We can add in paradiddles as grooves. Okay, and we'll go over that all in some good time. But I just wanted to show you that so you know that these are not just fills. These are really everything you play can be broken down to one rudiment or another. Doesn't matter what it is, okay? That's why they're so important. Understanding rudiments is not just understanding some esoteric concept about right hands and left hands and sticking. Understanding rudiments means you'll understand your own playing, your own drumming, what you've done in the past, what you're doing in the present, and what you're going to do in the future. Understanding rudiments is crucial to that, okay? I don't care what you call them. We don't have to call them rudiments. We could call them whatever the hell you want, but we do need to realize that these stickings, these different groups, these rhythms, these accented and non-accented notes with the hands and the feet are important. They're going to help you become a better player, understand what you're doing, and learn faster. I had so much fun making that lesson for you guys. I really love sharing rudiments with the world. I mean, I just freaking love them. They're so exciting to me. Hopefully now you understand what they are, why they're so important, and how you can use them as a tool to gain a little more expertise, a little more knowledge in drumming. Have fun with it, take it slow. If you have any questions whatsoever, please reach out to me. You can either comment down below, don't forget to like and subscribe, and follow. But if you'd like more information from me on a one-on-one basis, I'd love to teach you virtually. You can reach out to me at my email, vince@theprodrummer.com. Visit me on my website, www.theprodrummer.com, or DM me on Instagram @theprodrummer. In the meantime, have some fun, make some noise, and I'll see you guys in the next video.